Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. The Madison isn't Yellowstone Season 6, but can continue the Dutton story in 5 big ways. Warning: spoilers for Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 14, Life is a Promise. The Madison isn't Yellowstone Season 6. It's a different offshoot of Taylor Sheridan's neo-Western franchise. The Madison won't focus on the Dutton family, unlike every other Yellowstone story. It will focus on the Clyburn family instead, led by Michelle Pfeiffer as Stacy Clyburn. While Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 14, Life is a Promise, concludes each story, the Madison can continue the Dutton family stories in a few key ways. After selling the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch to the Broken Rock tribe, Case Dutton, Luke Grimes, settles back at East Camp, which he brokered for his family. Beth, Kelly Rayleigh, and Rip Wheeler, Cole Hauser, also have a new beginning, moving to a ranch outside Dillon, Montana with Carter, Finn Little. Still, despite a nice Yellowstone ending for the main characters, the Dutton family story can continue from afar in the Madison. It's a lofty assumption to presume that the Madison's characters will regularly overlap with Beth and Case. Still, the Clyburns will live in the same Montana that John's kids still occupy. Therefore, the Madison story can explain the climate in Montana following Governor John Dutton's death. Yellowstone Season 5 mostly shows how John's death affects his immediate family. The Madison can refer to the politician to explain how the state is handling the loss of their governor more broadly. The Madison can explain how John's death impacted his constituents who weren't personally affected. Yellowstone fans had quite the bias watching Yellowstone Season 5, Part 2, regarding John's death. The event felt personal since we knew John intimately. Still, it's unclear what anyone outside John's immediate circle thinks of the matter. Grief overcomes Jamie, Wes Bentley, and the rest of John's kids for different reasons. Sarah Atwood, Dawn Olivieri, celebrated. The Madison can explain how John's death impacted his constituents who weren't personally affected. Case sold the Yellowstone Ranch to the Broken Rock tribe in the Yellowstone Season 5 finale. Yellowstone audiences watched as Thomas Rainwater, Gil Birmingham, witnessed his people tearing down everything John Dutton's family built piece by piece, restoring the land to the way it looked before they settled there. The Madison could update Yellowstone audiences on the ranch's transformation, with its characters visiting the conservation area to witness its historic existence. While the Yellowstone Season 5 finale provided an inspiring ending for the Broken Rock tribe, the people will likely encounter challenges maintaining the land. The Madison's characters can talk with Thomas Rainwater and check in about the process. The more robust story for the Madison is under wraps, so it's unclear exactly how the Clyburn family could potentially connect to Montana's indigenous people, but there could be a connection there. In Yellowstone Season 5, Episode 7, The Dream Is Not Me, Lionel Perry, Wendy Moniz, meets with Thomas Rainwater, and Mo brings plenty to warn them about a pipeline proposed to run through the reservation. The development follows a visit from the President of the United States, which Rainwater knows foreshadows something ominous. Rainwater gets Senator Petty and Governor John Dutton's support in opposing the development, but he also takes a more on-the-ground approach. The Madison could offer an update on the pipeline, which would run through the Broken Rock Reservation and the Yellowstone Ranch, which are now connected. In the Yellowstone Season 5 finale, Mo leads a group of warriors on horseback to disrupt the pipeline's progress. When Thomas asks how the mission went, Mo tells him they made a great effort and that it would stop them for a while. The Madison could offer an update on the pipeline, which would run through the Broken Rock Reservation and the Yellowstone Ranch, which are now connected. The Madison cast could somehow be connected to the next chapter of that story. While they won't be a significant portion of the show, Beth or Case could theoretically appear in the Madison since the offshoot exists in the same universe. Taylor Sheridan has connected all his Yellowstone series, including 1883 and 1923. That said, those stories have all detailed the Dutton family tree, giving Sheridan a reason to connect them. Case and Beth have taken on new endeavors, allowing their paths to cross Montana residents in new ways. The Madison's premiere date is slated for 2025. For instance, Case started his operation at East Camp. He could encounter the Clyburn family in the cattle or horse trading business somehow, and the crossover would, in turn, inform what was happening to Case, Monica, Kelsey Asbill, and Tate Brecken Merrill. Similarly, the Madison could provide an update on Beth's life. John Dutton's daughter killed her brother, Montana's Attorney General, in the Yellowstone Season 5 finale, and the Madison could update the investigation. With all the Yellowstone Ranch cowboys heading in different directions in the Yellowstone Season 5 finale, one could mosey on into the Madison. The offshoot could tell the story of what comes next for one of the cowboys, making it a vital element of Dutton family lore. From the Madison's casting updates, it sounds like Stacy Clyburn has several neighbors who act as stewards of the land, so odds are Stacy will be on a ranch and need a hand from a cowboy. With all the Yellowstone Ranch cowboys heading in different directions in the Yellowstone Season 5 finale, one could mosey on into the Madison. After the finale, Lloyd Pierce, Forey J. Smith, is available. Ethan Lee, and Jake Ream, are heading to another ranch in Montana, so some familiar cowboys may appear if the Clyburns are associated with the In-Bar Ranch. That said, complete with standout stars from Suits and Lost, Patrick J. Adams, and Matthew Fox, the star-studded The Madison cast doesn't need any Yellowstone characters to help the series along. That said, it would be exciting to see the stories connect. For fans of Yellowstone, the news that Season 5 will be the end of the flagship show might be bittersweet. However, Taylor Sheridan isn't leaving the world of the Duttons behind. Enter the Madison, one of the upcoming spin-offs that could continue the saga in unexpected ways. While it may not be Yellowstone Season 6, it has the potential to keep the heart and drama of the franchise alive. Here are 5 big ways the Madison can continue the Dutton legacy. 1. A new frontier, but the same battle for survival. The Madison is rumored to take place in Montana, possibly near the Madison River, a scenic and historically rich area. While it won't be centered on the Yellowstone Ranch, the show can still explore the timeless struggle of landowners versus developers, ranchers versus the government, and the cost of preserving a way of life. This thematic continuity will make the Madison feel like a spiritual successor to Yellowstone, even if the setting and characters are new. The Duttons have always been defined by their battle to protect their land, and while the Madison might shift the focus to a new ranching family or another powerful entity, the central conflict will likely remain the same. If John Dutton's, Kevin Costner, influence extends beyond Yellowstone, there's a chance we'll see how his legacy affects others who fight to preserve Montana's rugged beauty. 2. Familiar faces could appear. Even though the Madison is a new show, there's no reason why some Yellowstone characters couldn't make an appearance. Sheridan has already demonstrated his willingness to connect his spin-offs, 1883, 1923, to the main show. Beth Dutton, Kelly Redley, Rip Wheeler, Cole Hauser, or even Jamie Dutton, Wes Bentley, could be involved in legal or business dealings with the new central characters. Meanwhile, Case Dutton, Luke Grimes, and Monica, Kelsey Asbill, might find themselves drawn to a new struggle that mirrors their past conflicts. Even minor characters like Ryan, Ian Bowen, and Teeter, Jennifer Landon, could show up if the ranching world remains a major aspect of the Madison. If the Madison is set shortly after Yellowstone's ending, there's room for crossover appearances that continue unfinished character arcs while introducing fresh perspectives. 3. The corporate and political power struggles will continue. One of Yellowstone's greatest strengths has been its ability to weave political intrigue into its cowboy drama. Whether it was John Dutton's brief tenure as governor, Jamie's manipulative moves, or market equity's corporate warfare, the power struggles always added high stakes.